In the dry and forgotten lands of East Africa, far away from modern cities and technology, lives a tribe that has survived some of the harshest conditions on Earth. This is the story of the Dassanaci Tribe, a community surrounded by endless desert, extreme heat, and constant struggle for survival. Here, water is more precious than gold. Children grow up in conditions that most people could never imagine. And women walk for hours under the burning sun just to find muddy water for their families. But what makes this tribe truly different is not just their difficult lifestyle. It is their strength. The women of the Dassanaci tribe wear heavy iron shackles on their ankles as part of an ancient tradition. Young girls go through painful rituals at an early age, yet they are taught never to cry. For generations, these people have lived between drought, hunger, tribal conflict, and isolation from the outside world. And still, they continue to survive. In this documentary, we will explore the real life of one of Africa's most unique and resilient tribes. From dangerous crocodile hunters, to emotional coming-of-age traditions, and the daily battle for water, this is a journey into a world that very few people have ever seen. Welcome to the land of the Tearless Warriors. The Dassanaci tribe lives in one of the most remote and unforgiving regions of East Africa, near the borders of Ethiopia, South Sudan, and Kenya. This land is dry, isolated, and extremely difficult to survive in. For miles and miles, there is almost nothing but desert, dust, and burning heat. Rain rarely falls here, and when it does, it often disappears quickly into the cracked earth. For generations, tribes living in this region have depended on rivers, animals, and seasonal rain to survive. But over the years, severe drought has changed everything. Rivers that once gave life to villages have slowly dried up. Grasslands have disappeared, and animals continue dying from thirst and hunger. Every day has become a struggle for survival. The heat in this region can feel unbearable. Under the powerful African sun, even standing outside for too long becomes exhausting. Yet despite these conditions, the Dassanaci people continue living here. Far away from modern cities and development, they survive using traditions passed down through generations. Most families live in small huts made from mud, wood, and grass. There are no modern roads, no large hospitals, and very little access to clean water. This isolation has kept the tribe separated from the outside world for many years. But nature is not the only challenge they face. This region has also experienced violence and instability for decades. South Sudan went through one of the deadliest civil wars in modern African history. Millions of people were affected by conflict, hunger, and displacement. Even after the war officially ended, fear and insecurity continued in many remote areas. Weapons became common, tribal conflicts increased, and survival became even harder. Because of this, many communities learned to protect themselves at all times. In some areas, armed men still guard villages and travel across the desert. Life here is unpredictable. And yet, despite the drought, conflict, and isolation, the Dassanaci tribe continues moving forward. They wake up every day knowing survival will not be easy. But they continue anyway. Because for the people of this forgotten land, survival is not a choice. It is a way of life. In the burning lands near the border of Ethiopia and Kenya, where the wind carries dust instead of rain, the women of the Dassanaci wake up before the sun. No alarm clocks. No comfort. No easy mornings. Only survival. The first thing they hear is not music, but crying children, hungry goats, and the dry sound of footsteps on cracked earth. These women carry the weight of the tribe on their backs. Literally. Before daylight fully arrives, many begin walking for water. Not for minutes, but for hours. Under brutal heat, carrying heavy containers, barefoot on burning ground. And when they finally return, there is no rest waiting for them. Because now the real work begins. Cooking, cleaning, building shelters, taking care of children, protecting animals. preparing food for the family. Every single day feels like a battle against nature itself. And yet, you almost never see them complain. One of the most shocking traditions among some Dassanaci women is the wearing of metal shackles and heavy necklaces. To outsiders, they look painful. And honestly, they are. The metal can weigh several kilograms. Some women wear them for years. These aren't fashion accessories. They are symbols of marriage, status, endurance, and identity. The body suffers silently, but the tradition survives. And maybe that's what defines these women more than anything else. Silence. Not weakness. Not fear. Strength. Because in places where survival is uncertain, emotions are often hidden deep inside. Many mothers carry babies while walking miles under the scorching sun. One child on the back, another holding her hand, while balancing water containers on the head. Imagine that life for a moment. No hospitals nearby. No modern safety. No guarantees. Just instinct, responsibility, and endurance. Motherhood here is not soft or comfortable. It is raw. A Dassanaci mother must become everything at once: protector, worker, teacher, and survivor. Some lose children to hunger. Some to sickness. Some to drought. But even after unbearable loss, many still do not cry in public. Not because they feel nothing, but because life keeps moving. The tribe depends on them. In the modern world, people break down over stress, traffic, or internet problems. But here, survival itself is the daily routine. And somehow, these women continue. Their faces tell stories words cannot explain. Wrinkles carved by heat. Eyes shaped by pain. Hands hardened by labor. Yet inside those same eyes, there is something powerful. Pride. Because despite the suffering, despite the endless struggle, they are still standing. Still walking. Still carrying water through the desert. Still protecting their children. Still keeping the tribe alive. And perhaps the most emotional part of all, nobody celebrates them. No headlines. No awards. No cameras following their sacrifice. The world rarely notices these women. But without them, the Dassanaci way of life would disappear completely. They are not warriors with weapons. They are warriors with endurance. Women who carry entire generations forward, one painful step at a time. The sun in Ethiopia does not forgive. By midday, the ground becomes so hot it feels alive. The air shakes with heat. Dust rises with every step. And far away, the horizon looks like water, but it's only a cruel illusion. For the Dassanaci people, water is not just important. It is everything. Every morning, long before the heat becomes unbearable, women and children begin walking across dry land searching for something most of the world gets by simply turning a tap. Water. But here, there are no pipes. No clean wells nearby. No guaranteed source. Only hope. Hours pass as they move through empty landscapes carrying plastic containers, metal buckets, and old yellow jerrycans. The children walk silently, already used to this life. Some are only 5 or 6 years old, yet they understand survival better than many adults. Finally, after miles of walking, they reach what looks like nothing. Just sand. Dry, cracked, lifeless sand. But the women know something outsiders don't. Underneath the ground, hidden deep below the burning surface, there may still be water. And so the digging begins. Using bare hands, sticks, broken bowls, anything they can find, the women kneel into the scorching earth and dig small holes into the sand. Slowly, carefully, deeper and deeper. The heat is merciless. Sweat pours down their faces. Dust sticks to their skin. Children wait nervously beside them holding empty containers. And then, a tiny miracle appears. At the bottom of the hole, muddy water slowly begins seeping through the sand. Not clean. Not clear. Brown water mixed with dirt. But to them, this is survival. The children rush forward immediately. Some try to drink with their hands. Others quickly fill containers before the water disappears back into the ground. There is no time to waste. Sometimes animals drink from the same water source. Sometimes insects float on the surface. Sometimes the water itself can make people sick. But thirst is stronger than fear. Imagine being so desperate for water that muddy liquid from a hole in the sand feels precious. This is daily life here. And the most heartbreaking part. Tomorrow, they may have to do it all over again. Another walk. Another search. Another desperate attempt to find water hidden beneath the earth. For many children in the modern world, water is invisible. Always available. Always clean. But for the Dassanaci tribe, every single drop has a story. A story of exhaustion. Of patience. Of survival. And as the burning sun continues to rise higher in the sky, the women lift heavy containers onto their backs and heads once again. Then they begin the long journey home. Step by step. Carrying muddy water through the desert, so their families can survive one more day. Near the deadly waters of the Omo River, the Dassanaci warriors prepare for one of the most dangerous parts of tribal life. Crocodile hunting. The river may look calm, but beneath the muddy water hides a silent killer. Massive jaws. Sharp teeth. Deadly power. One mistake can mean death. But the warriors still move forward. Armed with handmade spears and traditional weapons, they walk carefully along the riverbanks under the burning African sun. Fear exists here, but bravery is stronger. For the Dassanaci men, hunting crocodiles is not only about survival. It is about tribal honor. A warrior must prove he can protect his people and face danger without running away. Many hunters carry tattoos and scar marks across their bodies. These marks are not decoration. They tell stories of pain, survival, and courage. Every scar represents a battle faced and fear defeated. The younger boys watch the older warriors closely, learning how to survive in one of Africa's harshest environments. Because here, courage is part of becoming a man. In the modern world, danger is often avoided. But for the Dassanaci warriors, danger is part of everyday life. And along the dangerous riverbanks of Africa, the crocodile warriors continue protecting their tribe with bravery, pride, and fearless hearts. In a remote village of Ethiopia, a 10-year-old Dassanaci girl sits quietly beside her mother. Today is not a normal day. Today, she will receive the heavy metal shackles worn by the women of her tribe. Around her, older women sing traditional songs while preparing the cold metal rings. The young girl watches silently. Nervous. Scared. Confused. She is still a child, but this ceremony marks the beginning of womanhood. Slowly, the women place the heavy shackles around her neck and legs. The weight shocks her immediately. Her small shoulders tighten. Her eyes fill with fear. But she does not cry. Because inside the Dassanaci tribe, strength is expected early. For generations, girls have gone through the same painful tradition. The shackles are seen as symbols of identity, honor, and belonging. To outsiders, they may look cruel. But to the tribe, they represent culture and survival. As the ceremony ends, the young girl stands quietly among the women. Still innocent, yet no longer treated like a child. And in the harsh deserts of Africa, another generation begins carrying the heavy weight of tradition. In the modern world, people wake up to phone alarms, check social media, and rush through crowded cities filled with lights, cars, and technology. Life moves fast. People worry about internet speed, office stress, and phone batteries. But far away from modern cities, another world still exists. The world of the Dassanaci tribe in Ethiopia. Here, survival matters more than technology. There are no skyscrapers. No shopping malls. No easy comfort. Only heat, dust, hunger, and the daily search for water. While children in modern countries play video games, Dassanaci children walk for hours under the burning sun carrying heavy containers. While cities glow brightly at night, the desert becomes silent and dark. Every single day is a fight against nature. Yet despite having so little, The tribe stays connected through family, tradition, and survival. Everyone helps each other. Women carry water. Warriors protect the tribe. Children learn survival from elders. While the modern world races toward the future, the Dassanaci fight simply to survive another day. A forgotten world still living beside modern civilization, where human strength matters more than technology. As night falls over the dry lands of Ethiopia, the desert slowly becomes silent. The heat fades, but the struggle does not. Families gather around small fires. Women return after long walks carrying water. Children sit quietly, tired from another exhausting day. Every face tells the same story of survival. There is no comfort waiting for them. No guarantee for tomorrow. Only the same cycle, repeated again and again. Wake up. Walk. Search. Endure. And still, they continue. Not because life is easy, but because stopping is not an option. In the modern world, their lives may never be noticed. Their struggles may never appear on screens or headlines. To the world, they may seem forgotten. But in the harsh deserts of Africa, the Tearless Warriors continue to survive. Through drought, through hunger, through pain that most people will never experience. And yet, they stand strong. Not because they do not feel suffering, but because they have learned to live with it. A powerful reminder that even in the hardest places on earth, the human spirit refuses to break.